Yeah. All right, peace family. Welcome back. Good people. We got a trade. And the Lakers been holding on to this for a long time. They've been holding on to this draft pick. The real thing is they got a 2027 draft pick. And that's the one that's really valuable that everybody wants, the 2027 value pick. They still got that. So another trade is coming. And it's probably going to involve Austin Reeves because at this moment, we don't need Austin Reeves if we got Luka. Uh, I don't even know how to do this. Yeah, the Lakers line up with Luka. Let's see that with Luka. Projected Lakers line up. Let's see if what they got up here. Is you're gonna have to put all defensive players around Luka and LeBron, and they talking like, let me just kill this rumor right now. Don't it's crazy. People work at ESPN. They got all the resources in the world, and they can't figure out. They ever talk about LeBron might get traded too to the Warriors. No, the reason why the Lakers get rid of the first round pick and they get rid of a young player like Max Christie, who played great last night. I was so proud of Max Christie, Austin Reeves. The Knicks is one of the better teams in the NBA, and we whooped their ass last night to the point where Bronny got in the game. The Knicks fans was, Bronny, they wanted to see him. He got in the game and he scored a point. I mean, last night was great. And I'm like, oh yeah, got to go to sleep. It's like getting like 11:30 at night, and I'm trying to, you know, make myself tired so I could go to sleep, and then boom, Luka Doncic, and this is the Lakers channel, the Lakers Nation channel. It says Luka traded for AD, and I'm like, yeah, something's wrong. Something's not right. This can't be true. There's no way this is true. But the Dallas Mavericks, they're not owned by Mark Cuban no more. So new ownership, they come in. They don't do it like the old ownership because you look at a guy like Dirk Nowitzki who stayed with the Mavericks his whole career, and people thought the same thing was happening with Luka, but nah. Uh, they said Luka comes in out of shape and stuff like that. And then last year in the finals against the Celtics, they had to grab a beer out his hand. I mean, he was going to go play the Celtics. He had just beat, uh, I think Denver or whoever they beat to get to the finals, and he was celebrating with a beer. They had to come take the beer out of his hand. But man, come on, man, it's Luka, man. He's an offensive genius. This is like it's just like LeBron. It's a once in a lifetime talent. You know what I'm saying? And they knew about LeBron from the beginning. They called this dude the chosen one while he was still in high school. So they already knew. But this lineup, let's see. We got the starters. Austin Reeves is gonna have to go. Rui Hachimura is probably gonna have to go too. So that'll be Luka, LeBron. You need defenders. So Dorian Finney-Smith, he's automatically gonna be injected into the starting lineup because you need defenders. LeBron is too old to defend, and Luka it's just not what he do. It's he's out. Like I said, he's an offensive genius. Defense, he don't give a damn about. He will play it a little bit, but you're gonna need and Austin Reeves. When people play the Lakers, they target Austin Reeves. Their whole offense is centered around going after Austin Reeves. So you can't have Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. It cannot happen. And then Rui Hachimura, he don't really play no defense too. All these dudes is offensive players right there. So the defensive guys, Max Christie got traded. I don't know why he's on here. He's gone. Gabe Vincent, defensive guy. Dorian Finney-Smith, defensive guy. Jared Vanderbilt, defensive guy. These guys don't have to be in the starting lineup. We don't have a center, so Jackson Hayes is gonna have to stay the center right now. But that's why I'm guessing. We still got that other draft pick. We got that other draft pick because we're going to make a trade. It's probably going to involve Dalton Connect. And this is why I'm saying the draft pick's got to get traded because LeBron's old. He don't give a damn about them draft picks. He want to win now. You got Luka Doncic already for the next 10 years, right? He's 25 years old. He's super young, and he's already a superstar. So, am I mad about AD getting traded? I am a little bit. I am a little disappointed, especially after last night. They played great without AD. I mean, the defense was off the chain. The Knicks couldn't do shit. All right. The defense was crazy. So with AD is like he's one of the top people for defensive player of the year every year. So add him back to the mix of that defense, we was looking like a championship team once we got AD back. So I am a little disappointed because this throws everything off. They're gonna have to revamp everything. This lineup is not gonna have. This lineup got to change. It cannot stay the same. You can't have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves together. I don't want to see Austin Reeves come off the bench no more. He worked so hard to become the starting point guard for the LA Lakers, which is come on, Magic Johnson, Derek Fisher. This is a legendary position. It's a great honor to be the point guard of the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. So I don't want to see him lose a starting job, but it's looking like he's going to have to get traded. He's making like almost $20 million. Rui's making like $18 million. So you can get like a $36 million player, or you can spread that money around, right? You got draft picks. The Lakers are, if you're smart with these next few moves, right? Because Luka just took the Mavs to the final. It is an upgrade because the reason why Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are not mentioned in the GOAT conversation is because simply this: somebody has to get them the ball. They're big men. Somebody got to get you the ball. You can't do everything on the court, so you get put out the GOAT conversation. The GOATs is the ones who could do everything: pass, dribble, and shoot. All right, pass, dribble, and shoot. Like there's a lot of people out there that it's crazy. In the NBA, there's a lot of people that can't pass, dribble, or shoot. There's a shortage on point guards right there. And the Lakers just locked up the number one point guard, uh, really for the next 10 years, at least 5. There's going to be a lot of drama with this. Now, Luka, the name Luka is very important, right? Remember the LA wildfires, right? It's like they getting ready for Satan's return. Well, Luka is Luke. Actually, Luka is Luke, like Luke Skywalker, like Anakin, Luke Skywalker. Right? Now, the Luke Skywalker it's really the sun, right? The sun is moving according to the ancients. So it's the Skywalker is walking across the sky. It's Lucifer bringing the light, walking across the sky. It's describing the sun, or it could be describing the moon. I haven't really, I haven't really got into it that much to decipher whether they talk about the sun because they're both light bringers, right? They're twins basically. It's the old stories of Jesus versus the devil. And what's crazy is I was looking at verses, right? Because we've been talking about the Eagles being representing heaven, and then the Chiefs representing the demons, right? So this verses, I talked about this a long time ago, but I just watched it again. It was like, man, it's one of the best verses of all time. They was coming out. Each artist came out hard. It's Bone Thugs versus 3 6 Mile. That and I didn't see anybody else talk about this but me. Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia, right? 3 6s versus Bone Thugs. Now, why is that important? 3 6s Bone Thugs is from East 99 in St. Clair, from Cleveland. The East 99, that's what make this matchup such a great matchup because it's the Angel number 99. I mean, yeah, 999 versus the 666. Right? They do a lot of red chakra shit. Just say that 3-6 Mafia. It's all about, the booty dancing and all that stuff. And you might get clapped in a couple of these songs too, right? Bone Thugs and Harmony, they're tough guys too. They got thugs in their name, but they're more like the Angels. They sing, they harmonize. You know what I'm saying? There's a little less killing, a little less drug dealing in their music, right? So these are the total opposite, made for the one of the greatest verses of all time. There's even a fight, right, in his verses. So it goes along with the theme of, and they're from Cleveland too, right? Just like Grover Cleveland, two-term president, just like Donald Trump. It goes along with this theme of heaven and hell, the battle of heaven and hell, the Great War, right? Then we got Luka coming to L.A. and it's perfect. L.A., the Lost Angels, and it ain't the Angels, it's the Lost Angels. Where the Lost Angels will be the angels that fell from heaven, right? A third of the angels came down with Lucifer. A third, when you break it down into decimals, is 33, right? 33% is a third. So Luka coming to LA after the LA wildfire, after hell broke loose, right? January 7th. We might can do pretty sure that's 29 days. I don't know. We got to check. Let's check right quick. Let's do some dates right quick. Because there was another thing about that Knick game last night. All right. Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for number one spot on the NBA's all-time regular season scoring list, right? February 7th, 2023. Let's do that date to last night. All right. Oh, first, let's do this. I already got this up here. The Pope birthday to last night. 46 days. Like I said, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a superstar for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson got us 199th all-time loss yesterday. All right. 199th loss yesterday. It must be right here. I'm just going to have to type it out. Let's do it over here, man. Jalen Brunson got his 199th loss yesterday, right? That's the 46th prime number, and we was 46 days after the Pope's birthday, right? So, it was, like I said, everything was looking good for the Lakers. Now, he broke this record last year, all right? February 7th, 2023. Well, that's 2 years ago, right? No, it was 2024. I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's 2023. That's last night. What am I doing wrong? February 7th, 2023. That's what I got. February 7th, 2023. Till last night. I don't know what's going on. That ain't right neither. Same what I seen last night. Okay, but anyway. The Lakers picked up their 28th win, right? On a Saturday. Right, Saturday 28th. Right. Like I said, this was 33 days after LeBron's birthday. So it looked like, right, to the untrained eye, it looked like the Knicks was gonna get their 33rd win of the season. But no. It was deeper than that. Gotta do a little digging. Right, there go LeBron, 33 days after his birthday. You would think that Then the Knicks get their 33rd win. Right? Simple, easy. But no, it turned out LeBron go to his all-time win-loss record, 991. Picked up his 991st win in New York. All right. Go to 991. Break that down. It's 167th prime. The 39th prime is 167. 39 for Jimmy Carter, 39th president. And also, when you spell out New York, it equals 39. Right. And here's another thing with the 33 and the 32. Right. The Knicks stayed at 32 wins on LeBron's 33rd birthday. Now, this is something. You know, the Eagle on a $1 bill. Feel me? You feel me? Eagle $1, 33, 32. And the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Should be the amount of feathers on this bird. Okay, here we go. The Eagles' left wing has 32 feathers. Number of degrees in Scottish Rite Freemasonry. The Eagles' right wing has 33 feathers. There is just a 33rd degree Mason for outstanding service. Right. And then also, if you look at their records, right, let's spell out NBA right quick. All right. NBA. See how NBA is 17 and 19, right? Let's go to yesterday. Lakers and Knicks. See how the Lakers stayed on 19 wins. Like I said, nationally televised game is on ABC, right? Everybody could watch it. So the occultism was heavy in this one, right? So as you can see, like I said, NBA is 17 and 19. The Knicks pick up their 17th loss. Lakers stay at 19 losses, right? This was the game of the night, and then boom, turn around. Luka gets traded to LA. I can't believe it. Really can't believe it. But the thing to know about Luka coming to LA, the Los Angeles, he's returning home. I mean, the planets are aligning. The Pope opened the portal because Lucifer is coming home, and the symbolism is playing out everywhere, including the NBA. It might be something coming up with the football. Baseball too. Everything's gonna fall in line to this storyline. This ancient old storyline that keep on being told, right? About one side against the other. Where did that come from? It's the yin yang. It's the yin and the yang. Right? It's Adam and Eve. Why I say Adam and Eve? The black is Eve, the white is Adam, magnetism, electricity. Here is the serpent in the middle nobody talks about. That is the serpent in the middle dividing them both up, right? And that's the goal. Because, like I said, most slaves was women. Ask yourself this: are you gonna spend $1,000 a day? Is like $10,000 back in slavery times. Are you gonna spend $10,000 on a human being that could kill you? Another grown man? Are you gonna would you spend $10,000 on a woman? I mean, just common sense. Was there a market for male slaves? I seriously doubt it. With women and children. Women and children. The mythology of Lesbos, right? This is a myth, but where did the myth come from? So myths come, you know, we deal with myths all the time. The myths comes from a little bit of truth, right? It's coming from a story of another story, All right. The mythology of Lesbos. Lesbos, an island in Greece, includes the story of the island patron god Levos and the connection to the musician Iphis. Going to Crete. Now, this island of Lesbos is where they sent the women to. All right. Now, if you look at what these dudes was doing at the same time, I'm telling you, they didn't really have no use for women like that, except to sell them into slavery. They was wearing powdered wigs. They was wearing makeup and shit. And then you wonder why the LGBT, MLK, IGA plus is running the world now. Well, they've been running the world. They had no use for women. But at the same time, they know that was the way to take over. It's like I said, Spain went to Mexico, right? It wasn't called Mexico at the time, but Mex is mix. So there was a whole lot of mixing going on. And, you know, everybody got a European mindset. So when you see a lot of mixes going on, you automatically think slavery and the R word, grape. But how about just romance? Like it couldn't be no romance back in the day. Huh? Just everything is taken by force. Well, the whole country is mixed, yeah, I think there was some romance going on because, like I said, Spain learned from the Spaniards. They got their game from the Spaniards. I mean, they from the Moors. Spain got their game from the Moors, and I'm talking about game, real game. These are the Mori Gators from Italy, right? Expensive dress shoes, the Mori Gators. They're named after the Moors. They gave these people style and game. So Spain had no problem taking over and, mixing up with the Aboriginals in Central America and South America, right? They all speak Spanish, right? Spanish from Spain. This is originally European. So the reason the people are mixed, right? Mex is because they blended in with the Aboriginals, right? The Spain did. When it comes to UK coming over here trying to take over us, well, the deal was, bring over some women. And they brought over some UK women. And we was like, well, y'all can really take them back because we ain't digging it. They brought over UK women. They're not the best looking women. So, yeah, we gave them a little section. But the thing was, it's the oldest profession. It's pimping. It was human trafficking across the seas. That's what it was. Pimping. Moving women. Because like they've been showing you, they call it the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They don't give the woman no. She was running. I don't know how to describe it, man. Long time ago. Somehow, some way, they were in charge, and then something happened, and man said it's the day and age of man, and for 6,000 years, man has been ruling, and I believe they created religion for women to quiet down women, to control women. It's it's so my mind can't get there yet. But the evidence is showing that they had a real problem with they was having some trouble with women. They were really having trouble with women. Right? And you always see Eve with the apple, right? What is witchcraft? Witchcraft is the manipulation of nature. So that's why Eve is wearing an apple. She's a witch. She knows how to manipulate nature. That's what it's telling. That was the problem. Now, why you think all these Freemasons dress like magicians? Because they want control over that magic that the women had. A woman can get you to do pretty much anything. Come on, man. The saying always been the P word make the world go round. She was the magical one. Because she could seduce you, get you to do whatever she wants. And so you'll see, he was talking about the hermits, right? Dudes going in the caves and, getting away from women. And, they came up with some dope stuff. But it also turned a lot of them into freaks. Right? That's where the term Greek freak come from. If I was Giannis, I'd be like, please don't call me that. I'm going to say please right now. But, if I keep on calling me that, I'm going to have to start cussing people out. No, I don't want to be a Greek freak. All right? And they run the colleges. So there's a lot of Greek freaks running around here. There is. But, yeah. Another thing was last night, the moon was illuminated at 14%. 13%. If you type out LA, it's 13, right? The Knicks at home went 17-9. I'll show you that. The Knicks home record right now is 17-9 after last night. 179 is the 41st prime number. Like I said, you spell out LA, you get to 13-41. LA 13-41, right? 41. The 13th prime number is 31. Everything was connected, bro. New York Knicks go 17-9 to the Lakers. And now the trade. The trade. Well,
a TV documentary. This is what we thought. Its origins are Australia. I was in Australia on holiday. My wife is Australian, and I was in that wonderful institution, the Mitchell Library in Sydney. And I came across there, understandably, the Australians are kind of interested in convicts and transportation, and they have a vast collection on convicts.
He says they were interested in the transportation of convicts. Now, why is the transportation of convicts important? See, this is what they don't tell you. They'll tell you all day about Black history, because now we in Black History Month, right? They'll tell you all day about Black history. They can talk all day about Black history. Why do they don't really? And I'm talking about Black people who talk all day about Black history. You ain't gonna find shit. I mean, I'm sorry. If you don't study white history, Black history will make no effing sense. It's called the Bloody Code. It was a series of laws in England, Wales, and Ireland that mandated the death penalty. Would you rather die? Or would you rather be a servant, indentured servant, slave, like saliva? That's where slave come from. Saliva, spit in the mouth, right? Or slave can also translate to a slaver can translate to the idiot, right? So slave ship is the idiot ship, right? Now if you put that with European, but you get it, European, right? The idiot. Now I'm just translating, right? I'm just decoding. But the bloody codes, series of laws in England that mandated the death penalty for many crimes. I'm talking about a lot of crimes. I mean, anything was a crime. All right, jaywalking, death penalty. In the 18th and 19th century, the term was given to the system by critics who were appalled by the harsh punishment. Harsh punishment. Would you rather die? Would you rather be a slave? So eventually they said, well, you know what? We just can't kill these people. We'll just make them slaves. So they sent a lot of people to Australia and to North America for slavery. Slavery, the origin of prostitution. Early evidence of prostitution dates back to the 2400 BCE, Mesopotamia. This is old. The Sumerian records of this time mention a temple brothel in the city of Uruk. Right, sacred prostitution. Prostitution was often associated with the temples and considered a legitimate profession. That's how you get a little bit of land. You bring a little bit of tail. You bring, nobody want to nobody want to talk about it. Because honestly, you wouldn't want a male slave, but you will want a female slave. Because a male slave might kill your ass. And then a female, you could do so much more with a female slave. I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. Okay, yeah, we was on this. My bad.
Convicts and transportation, and I came across an astonishing book. It was very old, very obscure, and it amazed me. It told of how women were in the 18th and 17th centuries were, and children too, were shipped and sold in America. And
Women and children too. Hold up. That's what I'm saying. And you tell your guy friends this. Nobody wants you. You're a man. Go out in the fucking woods and carve out your own life. And no, like, this is the thing about dudes. We have no problem being alone, not bothering nobody. A guy will go sleep under the bridge, under the freeway, and not bother nobody. A guy will go live in the cabins in the woods and eat hungry man dinners, TVs, all for the rest of his life and be happy. Nobody wants you. Not even for an effing slave. It's too dangerous. It's too risky. It was women and children, people who can't hurt nobody.
I'd never heard of this. I'd never heard of the details. And while this only told a bit of the story,
Not can't hurt, less likely to hurt somebody. I apologize.
it disturbed me and encouraged me and horrified me. So I thought, great story here. And Don and I had been talking about how do we, and it amazed me. It told of how women were in the 18th and 17th centuries were, and children too, were shipped and sold in America. And I'd never heard of this. I never heard of the details. And while this only told a bit of the story, it disturbed me and encouraged me and horrified me. So I thought, great story here. And Don and I had been talking about how do we sell a story about the abolition of slavery? We've been talking about it and we hadn't come up with anything. I came back to England with the photocopy of this book, and he will tell you what happened there.
Well, I suppose that I'm Laurel to Mike's Hardy, in that it was another fine mess he got me into. In that I read the photocopies of what he had brought back, and what he brought back was photocopies of a book written by a man called Abbott Emerson Smith, who had written about how women, mainly prostitutes, but all sorts of other people as well, who were taken out of the Bridewell.
Women, mainly prostitutes. Bruh, it makes total sense to me. Because if I'm in the business of, and I want to purchase a slave, you want the biggest, strongest book? No, hell nah. Give me the weakest motherfucker. So if something happened, I can take them down. Yeah, I don't want the big, strong book. That sounds crazy. It makes no sense. What can I do with that? I'm a heterosexual man. No, give me the woman. Do you see?
Prison in London in the early 1600s and sent off to the new colonies in America as brides for the planters, if you like. So
brides for the planters, bring us women. There's a lot of dudes over here. Matter of fact, a lot of these motherfuckers is our family. We, bring us something else, man. We know all these women. Yeah, that's my sister. That's my auntie. That's my sister. Like, think about it. Back then, 17th, 16th century, you would have 13, 14 brothers and sisters. And y'all would live in the same area because traveling, man, is something that comes from Europe and Africa. We didn't really travel like that. You know, most people stay where the fuck they was at.
So these were women of marriageable age or of breeding age or whatever who would be sent off because up until then, of course, you had a brand new colony, it was all men. And for this to become viable, they needed women. And this seemed to be an astonishing thing. And so it went from there. And one looked at this and thought, well, this is just the tip of something. This is actually the edge of something here. And so the very fact that these women were taken out of the penal system in Britain, in England.
The penal system in Britain or England, what I just say? The bloody codes. They were running from death. Anything that's going on ever since the 16th century, right? That's why January 6th is so important. Ever since the 16th century, you can reverse it. That ain't what I wanted to say, but
and sent off to the new colonies with no say for themselves about whether or not they went or not. So the interesting thing was, what was it they were going into?
No. Yeah, because you didn't have no say for yourself because the other option was get your head chopped off. Right? Just like us being spied on all the time. The public begged to be spied on because of 9/11. You see what I'm saying? Because of the bloody codes, they begged for enslavement. They would rather do that than effing die. Now, you tell me, would you do the same? You want to die? You want to be a slave for a few years? And then you possibly could buy your freedom and ditch your servant.
What was it was already there that these people could just be taken out and shipped 3,000 miles away? And so we started to look at what this possibly could mean and what the wider context was of that. And that's how it began.
And we unearthed a wider and wider story. We found it wasn't just women, it was children, it was convicts, it was prisoners of war, it was all sorts. It was also people who signed up as indentured servants to get to America free of, they didn't have to pay the passage, the poor. They were.
That's another thing. You want to go to the New World? Somebody came to you right now and said, I wonder if y'all ever seen that movie with Matt Damon where he gets shrunk down and then he goes live in his little colony. He had to pay some money to go live in the colony. But with him being shrunk down, everything was cheaper or affordable. So he could live like a king in his little colony being shrunk down. But once you get shrunk down, you can't come back to being regular size, full size. Right? But
be contracted, indentured by merchants and by captains and by planters' agents to go to America free in return for it.
Yeah, that's the part. The free. That's the big part. I'm coming to you and I'm like, there's a new world, right? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's moving there. Usually a boat ride, especially that far, it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you a lot of money. But you could go for free if you agree to be a slave. That's the terms. You can either stay here, jaywalk, and then die, or you could go over to the New World, work as a slave for about 7 years, pay off your debt, because a lot of this is debt slavery, right? A lot of this is come down to people owing debt. You could pay off your debt and all that stuff by just going to go work in the New World, build up the New World, and after that, you're free. All right, so people would sign up. It's a free boat ride. Boat rides ain't free. I don't care what century you're in. A boat ride is not free. Ain't no pirate picking you up for free. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to work, or pay, or come off that.
They gave up their rights to their labour for several years. It was supposed to be, according to history, it's 4 or 5 years. In fact, it could be as many as 12. And what they didn't realise was that they were signing away all their rights, and they had become chattels. They were used as property, regarded as property. Now, as we
And you got tricked.
began to investigate this, and we used all the kind of resources that investigators do. We look at every kind of book, every kind of official report, etc., diaries, letters. We realised it was an enormous story, and it was also something which refuted one of the great ideas of, well, one of the key ideas of the development of slavery, which is that in 1619 slavery began in America with the arrival of 20 and odd Negroes, as they were called, sold, according to accounts, by a Dutch captain to planters in England, and this was where slavery began. Well, it wasn't true. Slavery had begun earlier.
That's the story we heard. Let him tell it again. Because I know y'all was like, ha ha, I got you. Black people, slaves. It's 20 of them. It was 20 of not 12.5 million, 20 slaves. The Portuguese brought them over. Now he said, that ain't true.
Well, one of the key ideas of the development of slavery, which is that in 1619 slavery began in America with the arrival of 20 and odd Negroes, as they were called, sold, according to accounts, by a Dutch captain to planters in England, and this was where slavery began. Well, it wasn't true. Slavery had
It wasn't true.
begun earlier. Children and women and convicts have been sold earlier than that, and although a small number of Africans were subsequently brought to Virginia and sold over the next decades, only very few, only 350 years later. 20 years later. But meantime, hundreds, thousands of poor whites were being.
Come on, man. Come on. Let me show you. Because even the time period he's talking about is not when all these people came over here. Because there's a difference between a boat and a ship. What's the difference? A boat is not a ship. The time period they're talking about boats. You gotta wait on this wind to catch this motherfucker. So you got a million motherfuckers at the bottom of this boat trying to get across the Hell Atlantic Ocean. It's called the Hell Atlantic Ocean for a reason. It's very difficult to get across, especially with a dang on wind sail. You need a motorized ship to get across. Motorized ships wasn't invented until after slavery, 1870 something. My math could be wrong. You could Google it yourself. There was no ships. There was boats. So the motherfuckers who wanted to come over here, they wanted to come over here. They packed their own supplies. Because you got to think, you got 1,000 people at the bottom of the ship. Where's your room for supplies at? Where's your fresh water at? Because it takes 3 months to sail from Africa to America. So you're going to need fresh water because a human being can only go 3 days without fresh water. So the whole story falls apart right there. These are people who wanted to come over here. They packed for a 3-month journey. They didn't pack it. They didn't put a whole lot of people on these boats because it'll sink. And it won't go nowhere. The sails won't catch no wind. It's too heavy to move. You had to wait on a ship, right? Oh, who are we going? Let's go. It's like, let's go 1900s. 1900 ship. Of course, they show us the Titanic, right? But that was a new. That was the new. That was a new thing. The Titanic. Well, let's go ship. Let's go ship, and then let's go. It really gonna be the Irish. The Irish came later. 1900s is like Irish and Italian started coming over. Like I said, them British women that they brought over, we was like, no. So they brought over the Irish women. If you know anything about Irish women usually are packing. Irish women are they're redhead and there's something back there usually. So, but by that time, the racism had kicked off so heavy and tough that you know it was too late. But them British women, because they wanted America to be just like how Mexico is mixed. That was the goal. Was to mix the European up with the Aboriginal and take over like that. They're gonna take over through the woman, not through the male. Right? That's how the Moors did Spain. The males went over there and mixed all that up. Sicily, most people in Sicily got mixed race, mixed blood, right? And that's from the Moor, the males, the male Moors going over there and running that game. Same thing happened in Central America, South and Central America, with Spain going over there. It wasn't by force; it was romance for the whole continent to be speaking Spanish and the whole continent to be mixed. Come on, right now, if you see this picture, if you can see this picture, this is what I'm talking about. They're all coming to America. Right? Shout out to Eddie Murphy. They're all coming to America deep as fuck. Right? Now, you could tell what time period it is because they're using a camera. The camera wasn't invented during slavery time. So if you see any picture of a slave, there's probably not during the right time period. The camera was invented around the same time as the steamship. Right? There was versions of the camera out, but you wouldn't be able to take that camera and go out to the fields and take pictures of slaves. You know what I'm trying to say? You wouldn't even, there would be no reason to do that. You'll be wasting. It'll be too hard. That using that old ancient camera, right? But they started inventing the camera around late 1800s. A lot of inventions came out of that time period, right? But look at all these people. This is a steamship, so you could take a lot of. This is the slave ship. If you know what a slave is, a debt slave. This is the slave ship. Do they got a year on this? Steamship, historical steamship, not a sailboat. There's two different things. Two different things. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Brought in and on various convicts and children, etc., and they were being enslaved. So that started us thinking this is an enormous story. It was a story too big, in fact, to sell to television. There were so many aspects of it, we didn't know how to compact it, but we did think it was an important and terrific book.
Yeah. And the question was, if we were right on what was going on, the question in your mind immediately is, as a journalist, is, well, why doesn't everybody know this already? Or have we just got the wrong end of the stick here? And
let's put a pin in it right there because I do got the title. Let's talk about Luka, so I don't want to be, who do you think is winning the championship? I picked the Lakers before the season started, but I'm a Laker fan, so you can't go off that. I'm a Laker fan, so. But this move, this trade right now. Oh yeah, I remember Big Porks. Big Porks, you got the Phoenix Suns winner. Am I right? Correct. Why are you saying the Phoenix Suns? Even after this trade, you still sticking with the Phoenix Suns? And I'm gonna miss AD. I ain't gonna lie. I like AD with LeBron. I really did. Oh yeah, one more thing, yeah. I had to type this in, but the quarter three features a song called Three Peat, right? And I was looking in the lyrics to see if might be some clues to this Three Peat Kansas City trying to get. But I ain't really seen that, man. I ain't really see. But it came out. When did quarter three come out? We could do this. Let's have some fun. before we get out of here, let's have some fun. So the quarter three came out June 10th, 2008. June 10th, 2008. It's a long time ago, so we're going to get a big, huge number. Let's go June 10th, 2008. And the reason why we're looking this up because it got the song 3-peat on there. All right. We know. Uh, Last year, I would have picked the Chiefs because back to back, the song by Drake turned out to be 2 minutes and 51 seconds long, and 251, the 54th prime number. That's the number we was looking for, and we had to find it through Drake. Drake is Dracula, right? Last year was the year of the sun, so of course Dracula dies in a rap beef in the year of the sun. So nothing there with the days. Let's go to the weeks. Got 869 weeks. Nothing there. Let's go to months. Uh-oh. We just was talking about this number, right? So boom. Lil Wayne puts out song 3-peat. June 10th, 2008. This is the Super Bowl coming up. So 199 months in between them both. We was just talking about this number with, let's see if it's still up here. Jalen Brunson picked up as 199th career loss. All right. So boom. Super Bowl 3-peat. That's the song. That's the date it came out on. 199 months. It's the 46 prime number. All right. We spell out Catholic. 71, 35, 46. It's also 145, which I did not know because to the day of the Super Bowl, right? Also, if you spell out 3-peat, this hits too. I did not know this. Patrick Mahomes' birthday. We go to his last birthday, 2024. We go to days, put days back on. It's 145 days. You see, Catholic equals 145. Just found out something new. All right. So Mahomes, he gets catered to. All right. The game is rigged for the Chiefs. The Chiefs represent the devil, so of course the game is rigged for the devil. This is the devil's world. 145 days from Mahomes' birthday to the Super Bowl. Right? And then we spelled out 3-peat. 145. And the Catholics. Oh, the Catholics. And, it's crazy because they make you focus on the Jews.
Furthermore, those in power are often Roman Catholics outright. Have attended Mass and taken communion at Catholic churches. Since one cannot take communion at a Roman Catholic service if one is not Catholic.
The monarch of the world, not just a religious leader, he is actually a political leader. The Vatican is actually a small area over in Rome whereby the Pope is the ruler of that small area. The actual name Vatican I found very interesting. It actually means worship of the divine serpent. So we find that
Worship of the divine serpent 2025. First of all, 2025 is a perfect square year. Right? The Lakers were just playing at Madison Square Garden, right? Very close to Times Square. Right? 2025, a perfect square year. The last perfect square year, something happened. You might want to look it up. Something happened the last perfect year. I believe it was 1934. Was the last perfect year. Right? Year of the Chinese zodiac is the snake. The great serpent.
the very basis of the Vatican, the very word itself means the worship of serpents.
It's crazy because I got this dude up here too. Serapis. Serapis and Jesus. Serpent. Sir Apis. 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 The apis snake come from Egypt. Serapis. Sir Apis. This come from ancient Egypt too. Ancient Egypt too. Serapis. The serpent. The great serpent. So they get a lot of their knowledge from everybody was passed down to them, right? And that little section, Greece, Rome, and Egypt, that big three, with that knowledge that they mostly kept to themselves, they took over the world, right? And they had a big problem with King James releasing that Bible to the public. That's why they try to kill him, right? Because and then King James doing what he did led to the Jesuits being formed, right? And this documentary is about the Jesuits. King James doing what he doing, releasing that Bible, led to the Jesuits being formed. You see how Bill Donahue, the white guy we was watching yesterday, you see how he was breaking down the Bible? That's why you needed reverends and priests, because people was interpreting the Bible and getting enlightenment. And the church the Jesuits was formed to stop the enlightenment, to stop you from reading the Bible for yourself. They put out clergymen to interpret the Bible for you and to skip past certain verses, right? Skip past certain passages that would help with the enlightenment. The second matrix is to stop you from ascending. The second matrix is to stop you from ascending. They're working with Satan to keep you here. Your soul here. This is a battle for your soul. That's why Luka. That's why I do these. That's why I love this stuff. That's why I love sports. Because they tell the story. They encode it, right? But they do tell at least they do tell the story. At least the story is being told, And it takes somebody to interpret it the right way. But Luka is Luke, which is short for Lucifer. It's the same thing with. They were trying to tell you with this in 2014, this film. Lucy is Lucifer, right? That's why she is a woman. And then who's the oldest human being? The oldest human. What they name her? Lucy, in short for Lucifer. It's all around you. It is all around you, But peace, y'all, man. Hit that like button for your brother before we get up out of here, man. I went an hour. I wasn't even trying to go an hour. But all right, man. Peace, like, comment, subscribe. We up out of here. Peace, peace, peace.